Beware, I live.
Welcome to the new RiverCityGamers Podcast, hosted by SCXCR and Well Unreal 007, as well as many other members from the RiverCityGamers website. Stay tuned for all the gaming news, new pickups, and everything else we feel like talking about on the RiverCityGamers Podcast.
We're not dead!
What? What is this? Huh? What?
Zombies!
Wait, are we zombies or...
Is this a new season?
Is this the new River City Gamers podcast?
No, this is Super River City Gamers Podcast.
Am I still SCXCR?
I think I'm still Blondeguygamer.
I'm Wanroll. Wait a minute, what happened to Unreal? No!
And I'm Oni.
What'd you miss?
What a miss!
Oh no.
That doesn't sound like Oni. That sounds more like...
Baloney.
By the way, Oni, if you hear this, I'm just making fun. Don't take it too seriously, buddy.
It's okay. He'll be back on the next podcast to make fun of you.
I'd love to hear what his voice of me would sound like.
You better stay true to that.
He's probably going to try a bad Canadian accent, I'm imagining.
I'm expecting to be like, oh hey, it's me, Zeromaster.
What were you guys talking about?
I'm Zeromaster. Welcome to the
See, I never got that. I never hear that. I just hear the word about.
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 Rounding out the O, about.
It's not as bad as the people in Halifax. They would say car.
Oh yeah, that's where the real stereotypical Canadian accents come from.
And they wouldn't say sorry, they would say sorry.
Sorry.
Now we've finished making fun of Canadian accents. Gaming
Let's
news?
see, we've made fun of Oni, Canada, what else do we have to?
RCG as a whole because of how late this podcast came back.
Right, about that, we're going to try and get the podcast back up and running on a regular basis, and we're going to have some new hosting for the podcast, other than, YouTube and Mediafire. So from now on, the RCG podcast is going to be posted on...
Shout Engine.
Okay, that should be long enough.
Yes, it will be posted on nondescript service that we have not.
I think he's probably going to dub in something later.
Oh, he's totally dubbing in shit. Like,
Can you make it
how I
like-
dubbed over my con video.
Can you make it like an obviously bad dub just to be funny?
I'll record
Yeah,
it with a
do what
cell phone.
Yeah, do what I did with my one Kineticon promo, where I just took my Anime North promo and dubbed the words Kineticon over it with the minimum effort.
That's right, so from now on, you can also hear us on...
Shout Engine.
And so with that news out of the way, I think it's only fair that we get into...
Gaming news?
You son of a bitch!
Gaming news! Sorry.
And we're going to start off with... Okay, it's not so much news as it is a public service announcement. Because this has already been reported before, but the Wii Shop channel is eventually going to close down. That's not until January of next year. But to buy games on it, you need points. And you won't be able to buy points after March 26th of this year. So you have about a little under 2 months to get any games that you want.
I'm gonna have to get in on that list that you have going on Unreal.
I'll just say right now, for the stuff I'm listed down, total price would be 19,300 points, which is roughly $193.
Holy shit, that's
Sold.
a lot of games. I mean, I can afford that right now. I have a little extra cash right now.
I mean, there's some I have question marks on that may not be final. As in, I may not get them. No, the ones with question mark is the WiiWare version of Excitebike, Onslaught.
Oh, I have that.
MDK2, WarioWare DIY, and two virtual console games, and that's pretty much it. The rest are just mostly definitive choices.
The only one I really need to get, I want to get the Master, or is it Master Blaster? Blaster Master?
Blaster
I can't
Master.
remember. The Blaster Master game that's on there, because
Overdrive.
that is on my list. I will say my top picks right now, I already got Chrono Trigger, so I'm fine with that. It's gonna be Castlevania Adventure Rebirth. That's one of the big ones.
that game is great.
It is.
Musha is another one.
Yes,
right.
because there's no other way to get it unless you want to try and get an actual copy of it. But
Right,
trust me, as someone who actually managed to get a copy of that game literally goes for hundreds of dollars now. So get the virtual console version while you can. Otherwise, there's no real cheap way to play it.
There's also Rondo of Blood, but that may be low on my list because I have that on PSP.
I also have it on PSP, but like I prefer to have a console version. So
Yeah, it's nice to have it on the TV. I did get that.
The big must buy, and it's 500 points, is Muscle March. Don't
Yes.
skip on this.
what the fuck is Muscle March?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh shit! Go look up Muscle March after the podcast.
Just
I
watch
think-
like a trailer or something of it.
There's no proper way to explain what Muscle March is. You simply have to experience it.
It's definitely Japanese. I'll just say that.
I'm also thinking about Fast Racing League. I mean, we have like Fast RMX and all that stuff out now, but that was the first one, and there actually was a demo for it. I played Fast Racing League, and it's still pretty fun, so I might grab that.
Yeah, when this podcast is over, send me that list.
Oh man, sure. I excluded Chrono Trigger because I already purchased it. Like anything I purchase gets like deleted off the list.
Wait, I know what Muscle March is. I just forgot the name of it.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, it's that.
Oh,
game.
there you go. There you go.
Fuck. Oh, I definitely have to get this.
So just a reminder again, everybody, you have until March 26th to buy points, and then beyond that, you have until January 31st of next year to download any of your games for backups.
Yeah, to be able to at least download it. I did touch upon this on my Ghoul Patrol video, which is another game that's like, that game is like stupid rare for like no good reason, because it's like not even that good of a game. So it's like one of those games where it's just like, it's not even a good rare game type of thing.
I'll just say right now, Ghoul Patrol was on my list, but as a pity choice.
Oh come on, don't
Literally pity. There's like,
it's not.
it'll
worth
be
it.
the last thing I buy.
Like even for like a virtual console purchase, it's not really worth it. Just get Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
I already got the physical version of that, so
Well, there you
set
go.
for life.
It's a pointless sequel. Don't bother. But
I think the ones that are going to be top on my list are probably N64 virtual console games on there, because the N64 notoriously has a shitty video output, and on a newer TV, a lot of times it looks terrible. I mean, I live with it, but it's...
Can you get around that with a Game Shark?
Yes and no. You're still going through a shitty video port. And the only other way around that is getting like an expensive mod, which you have to be on a waiting list for, and then you have to give your console to them. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't bother with that. N64 wise, the only virtual console game that I'd consider getting is Paper Mario, because that's like the only one I don't own.
Oh
What
yeah,
they
I got
offer.
that. Also, Tactics Ogre or Ogre
those
Battle
are
64 is what
those
I meant.
are on the Wii U.
I
believe.
was about to bring that up. Anything that I could still get on the Wii U virtual console is not on my list. So Kirby's Dream Land 3 was, but then it's on Wii U, so I crossed off the list because I can get it.
Just remember, the Wii U virtual console has notoriously bad image stabilization. So
I think that was really mainly for NES.
No. It's all consoles. It's the Wii. It's a problem with the Wii U store. So you're better off getting the Wii Virtual Console version, because even if you're playing them on the Wii U through the Wii OS, it still looks better. So it's really up to you. If you don't really care that much about the image quality, it won't bother you. But if you have a game that you're super familiar with and you play it, you can tell when you play it on the Wii U Virtual Console the difference.
Yeah, there's definitely a few I want to get, which unfortunately includes Stone Keep, one of the ancestors. Sorry, Scott, but
It's okay, it's for archival purposes.
yes, and it's a possible video for me as well, because even though I don't think Stone Keep, Bone of the Ancestors is technically a sequel to the original Stone Keep, but it is still like...
Technically not,
no.
but it is like within the same franchise.
Yeah, it's like, here's this out of the nowhere, like another Stone Key for WiiWare type of thing.
I've considered getting it too. I know you did that video on it, but I've considered getting it just as something to stream potentially if I like want to do an awful game stream.
Well, guys, I can recommend that you don't buy it, I can warn that you don't buy it, but ultimately I can't stop you from buying it.
Don't worry,
no, I'm pretty sure you could teleport to my house, slap my controller in my hand, be like no, and then teleport away.
Well, I
I'm pretty
could,
sure you
but
have
that
that
takes
ability.
effort.
I'm pretty sure me and Zero are going to be like the only two people that'll even buy Stone Keep before the Wii.
Listen, guys, SCR has a sixth sense about when people are buying Stone Keep for the Wii. He will find you, and he will slap that controller out of your hands.
Or
Yeah,
take
I
your
originally
credit card.
developed it for Bloody Roar 4, but then I adapted it to Stone Keep.
Can't wait to see the subscription service for Switch.
Yeah. By the way, can we just say that it's total bullshit that they aren't integrating your past purchases into it? If they, I mean, so far they haven't announced it, but if they don't, that's bullshit.
With
They
the
expect
Wii,
people to buy games.
I'd complain if stuff you got on Wii U was a problem, because
Well, see, here's the thing. What if like the hard drive in your Wii U or the solid state in your Wii U crashes, and then those games that you bought off the Wii Virtual Console you can no longer download, and Nintendo expects you to buy them again? Like it's just ridiculous. You want me to buy Super Mario Brothers for the 15th time? Just give me an ability to re-download my old purchases, like on the 3DS.
And
Well,
on
these are
that
great.
hot take, we move actually to the Switch, because after the holiday season, it has now officially outsold the Wii U after being out for less than a year.
That's not really surprising.
I was gonna say, is anybody surprised by that?
No.
Anyone?
no, we're not.
I'm at least a little surprised, because when the Switch first came out, there was a lot of speculation about how much legs it would actually have in the market. But Nintendo actually, partially by accident, made a brilliant move, which was, instead of just having a bunch of games that all come out at once and then having this long drought, they've been releasing big titles gradually over the course of like a month or two between each game. And as a result, buzz for the system is continuing. It's like constant, instead of just boom, here it is. Oh, who cares now?
I mean, all you guys got Switches, didn't you?
Yeah, I was pretty late though. I mean, not super late, but just late in the year because Christmas.
I'm pretty sure the three of us here got a Switch around the holidays.
Yep.
Yeah, a bunch of you guys did. I kind of feel left out because I didn't get one yet, but I'm honestly just gonna wait until it gets to a point where I absolutely need to have this system. I mean, I there is a lot I want on the Switch, and I could just, if I had less self-control, I could go spend the money right now and buy one. But I'm gonna save up a little bit because I'm not sure, I'm not sure what I'm gonna play on it. Plus, Monster Hunter just came out. I haven't got time for that shit.
If it makes you feel better, I still had to pay some money during the holidays to get a Switch, even though it was a Christmas gift. I still pitched in for my own gift.
I mean, my plan is to get the Splatoon 2 bundle because like an idiot, I never picked up Splatoon 1, and I don't know why, because I liked the way the game looked. I just guess I never got around to picking it up. But I want to get it, and so I can actually play Splatoon 2, because it just looks like, from what I've heard, it's just it's more so the same thing, but with a lot more content available. It sounds like to me it's basically like a Game of the Year edition.
It's a tiny bit more refined.
Exactly, so I might as well just wait and get that.
I only played a small bit of it. I don't have the game. I played a small bit of it on my friend's Switch, way earlier in that year. I don't have many games for the Switch right now because, well, I can't get them cheap. I've been getting a lot of cheap games, and, well, I'm just picking and choosing right now.
Well, you've been picking and choosing Nintendo games, but how about Nintendo movies? Because Nintendo is teaming up with Illumination, which are the people behind the Despicable Me and the Minions movies, and they're going to make a Mario movie.
Yeah, that has a lot of people worried, considering, how oversaturated Minions has become. So
It's just a main problem with that studio in particular, mainly because of Minions. I think in terms of visuals, it might be fine, but depending on how involved Nintendo is, the actual writing could be a lot more focused in Nintendo instead of Minions. I mean, we could say we had Mario and Rabbids.
That's fine. They also did they did more than just Despicable Me.
Yeah, I know, but so the whole people worried thing is mainly because of the studio, and it's not just because of
how
properties.
because of how overblown Minions became, you know. So, and that's pretty much all they're known for.
I mean, I don't understand the Minions thing either, but like, it was just like they had made movies before and after that that didn't have anything to do with them, and I think it's just they found a cash cow. It's like Toei. They found their cash cow at the time, whether it be Dragon Ball Z, Digimon, Den-O, whatever, and they just ran with it until, you know, people got tired of it. And I just think I think the whole Minions thing is, you know, people like them, whatever, but like, I don't think that's gonna happen with Mario. That just seems like if it was gonna happen with something like that with Mario, Nintendo would probably be doing it already. I mean, here's a Nintendo only comparison: Pokemon. How crazy was Pokemon in the 90s? How much Pokemon merchandise was there?
How many Pokemon movies are there?
Exactly. There's like something like 15.
Should I run down the list?
How many of them feature Pikachu speaking actual English?
How many of them have you seen, Scott?
None.
I know you weren't a Pokemon guy, but you played
I've seen 2 of them
Well,
back in the day in theaters.
I think I saw the first movie in theaters.
Well, there are a ton of them, especially if you look into the ones that were just made in Japan and didn't get distributed elsewhere.
I think this is kind of just a silly given thing to say, but this will still probably be better than, you know, the Super Mario Brothers movie, live action movie.
It's funny now because that's kind of a cult classic to a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's more of like a guilty pleasure, really, to a lot of people.
To be fair, I have not seen the Mario movie. I've seen a few of the video game movies. Like, I know a lot of people hate on Street Fighter, but I still think it's a really fun action movie. And fucking Double Dragon is the worst thing I've ever seen. In fact, like just the mere mention of it sends me into a blind rage as a Double Dragon fan. But like, I know people who say that they appreciate that even though they know it's bad, and I'm like, you know what, that's fair. I just think it's a steaming pile of crap.
Feel the rage of the dragon?
I knew you were gonna fucking do that.
Yeah, that and the TV show like almost killed Double Dragon.
The TV show isn't bad, but it's just like it's Scott McNeil. That is the
everything though.
So which one of you guys wants that one random Double Dragon figure that I found in my basement?
I want it.
It's that shadow dude, though.
I'll take it.
I showed Blondie a picture of it.
I'll take it.
Are you sure? It might be cursed.
Yes.
I don't know where it came from. I don't remember owning it. It's just like, that's Double Dragon Man from 5.
But
what is he doing here in my Transformers box?
I actually want to do some kind of Double Dragon video again, so I would happily take that off your.
Hi guys, welcome to Henshin Time. We're gonna take a look at this Double Dragon figure. And I don't even think it's complete. Rate, comment, subscribe.
But no, like, by the way, Double Dragon cartoon, the voice that Scott McNeil uses for, I guess, Jimmy Lee. Is he Jimmy Lee in that? I don't know.
I think so.
It's just his Proto Man voice.
It's either that or Bimmy. Just pick.
It's just his Proto Man voice. That's what it is.
Okay, let's get away from Proto Lee for a moment. And just to make sure that this isn't an entirely Nintendo gaming news section, I will mention, on a slightly more somber note, that Sony announced their financial results for quarter 3, and in the process, their CEO Kaz Hirai announced that he's stepping down. So pour one out for your homie Kaz.
Pour one out for that Twitter account.
Now he has plenty of time to play Ridge Racer.
Was he the one who made that meme famous?
He's the one that said $599 US.
Who was the badass who said $299 at the Sony PS1 press conference?
PS1? I actually don't know.
Oh jeez.
I don't recall older press conferences because I was a bab.
So what is he doing? I heard something that he's getting a different position in the company.
Yes, he's going to. It's an honorary role of sorts, but he's going to be director/chairman. Chairman. Why did I say it like a Mega Man villain?
I was gonna say,
chairman.
What the fuck are you talking about? He's a chairman.
Director/chairman, and he's going to be replaced by the old CFO Kenichiro Yoshida.
Maybe you just had an English moment where you're like, it read as chairman. I should read it as chairman.
It's because you brought up Proto Man earlier.
Is Chairman like one of the new RoboMasters for Mega Man 11?
Oh my god!
Is Chairman the shit I had to do
Don't.
before the podcast?
Blondie, don't. I might make that something for Mega Man the Abridged Shorts.
Is Chairman the dude in ECW who threw all those chairs into the ring and buried the wrestlers?
Ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba. Chairman. I'm
They
a
don't
chair.
sing the character name.
They do now.
Mega Man 11, that's just every character introduction is just sung vocally with words.
I want to petition
So,
Chairman.
so
for
we
Mega
got
Man.
Brental Floss for Mega Man 11 to do all of the music. Everything you heard in the first trailer was placeholder, so he had something to work with.
By the way, I know this is off topic, but is anybody getting a Mighty Number 9 vibe from the Mega Man 11 trailer?
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
It does feel like more almost like a response to my number 9. It's like
Yeah.
hey, let's actually go back and bring back
Also,
what
look,
people
no
want.
pizza explosions. We're good.
I will someday.
I will
do
say,
a review on it.
when I streamed that game, by the time I got near the final boss, I was just done, because that boss just was not fun to me. And playing the Wii U version, where almost half the shit is broken, did not help.
No. Yeah, I can vouch for
I
that, too.
still have not gotten my Wii U copy of the game.
Oh my
Like,
god! I got all
you
my
want
backer
it?
stuff 20 years later,
I got
and you're
my-
still fucked.
I got
Oh,
my
that's-
physical PC release, but I backed for a physical PC release and a digital Wii U release, and I never got it. And I emailed them, and they never responded to me. So I don't know if I should be
I
happy
think
about
they- I
that,
think they
or,
know.
You should be happy. I'll just tell you
or
right
just
now.
a little pissed because
It's like-
how much money I put into Mighty Number 9, and they not even have the gracious to send me their shitty game on a digital copy.
Keep in mind, Zero, I eventually did get all my backer shit, but since they would never allow me to upgrade to a physical Wii U, you know what I did? I bought another one! Now I have a physical Wii U copy with a spare code that I can't use for the DLC I already got with the backer stuff. Yeah, great money spent while going to Ohio.
Okay,
Could've
point
bought 'em.
being, now I haven't seen the Mega Man 11 trailer. I don't know what's going on with that, how it's eventually going to be. I don't know any of the Robot Masters in it, but I assume they'll come up with something better than Nothing Man.
You just enter
That
the
was gonna be
Robot
easy.
Master's room and it just says sorry, nothing, and you just leave.
You just enter it and die immediately.
Now you gotta sign a petition to fucking get rid of Nothing Man from Mega Man 11.
I mean, I understand that he can't hold that post forever, and that there are reasons that he might step down. It's just a little sad to see, almost a changing of the guard of sorts, with, Kazurai stepping down, Andrew House stepping down, so it's just going to be weird getting used to new faces in those positions.
It'll be sad to me whenever Yoshida steps down, because he's good. Yoshida just super happy, super honest, he especially when he was bringing up Nintendo stuff. He's just dude, I have it for my kids and stuff. He's super honest about that, and I feel like the big heads on each of the companies, even Xbox right now, is their hearts are in the right place in my eyes. Phil Spencer, that's his name. His heart and mind is in the right place, trying to build the Xbox brand back up. But of course, that's off topic. I'm just saying, based on Yoshida, just these type of people is just I appreciate that.
That was so savage when the PS4 was announced and that all that Xbox stuff happened, and they're like, "Here's how you share your used games on PS4." Thanks.
Oh, they knew the buzz around the Xbox One, and they had to capitalize on it.
Back to Kaz and even Andrew House, I think them stepping down is they've been with Sony for a long time, especially Andrew House. I was surprised at how long Andrew House was actually in there. There was a PlayStation Underground video I saw, which was also on one of the demo discs, and Andrew House was listed on there, and I'm like, holy shit, he actually has been around for super long.
Since the PlayStation days.
Exactly. So it's just been how many decades? Sometimes it's just time to step down and do something else.
Yeah, it happens eventually.
Well, on that somber note, we're going from talking about people in Sony to just talking about whatever. Because here's Now Playing. Now, usually this would be the segment where we all talk about what games we've been playing recently and what we think of them, but we've all been playing Monster Hunter World. So, so welcome to the Monster Hunter portion of...
That better not be the background music for this entire section.
Why not?
All right, we're gonna have to just put
By the
Zero
way-
in the recording studio.
By the way, the soundtrack for Monster Hunter World, like the new orchestrated soundtrack, is so fucking good. Even if you don't have the game, go listen to it on YouTube. It's so good.
The soundtracks have, like... Okay, as long as I've been playing them, at least, because I got into it late. But they've usually been, like, a strong point of the Monster Hunter games.
Oh yeah, they have, but
like
this
you get,
one is unreal. Like, not like you unreal, but like unreal.
I just feel it's, to me, with the soundtrack, it's just been keeping the quality that it had, and that's fine. I will say, my personal favorite track is when you're fighting, whether it be Radabon or O'Daggerin in the Rotten Vale. That combat music is probably my favorite in the game. Because it's actually kind of, sort of different than most, like, battle themes. Or at least part of it. I'm not sure what instruments they use.
It's unfortunate because I've had my TV audio down really, really low when I play online with you guys, so a lot of the times I don't hear the music, but
Yeah,
I have listened to it in the background.
I'm kind of the same. Either that or I'm just so zoned in on what I'm doing that I really don't even notice the music. And then I go back and listen to it later and I go, how did I not notice this?
I am going to miss the original Kutku theme, though. If he becomes DLC, I want that theme back.
I will say that theme plays a bit when Rathalos gets introduced. They didn't get rid of it.
Yeah, it was also Rathalos' theme in the first game, too.
It's more threatening as Rathalos' theme in my eyes, because he's the big boy of the first game, and that tune is almost synonymous with the first game.
He is on the front cover, so...
Again? What the fuck? You're not the flagship of World!
Oh, he's kind of the poster boy, though. Of
Hey, guess who the poster boy of 3 Ultimate was? It's Brachydia. No, Blue Rathalos. Shut up. America got screwed on that front. We got screwed out of cooler looking cover. In Japan, 3 Ultimate had Brachydios on the cover, while we got Blue Rathalos. Or Zero Rathalos as they...
I was going to say, it's Azure Rathalos.
Yeah, sure. The color is blue. And it's also the wrong flagship monster for that game.
Alright, so back to World. The thing that strikes me immediately about this, I mean, other than the major, like, graphical boost that happened between games, I struggle to even say it, but it's like so much of it is streamlined now. They took out, like, a bunch of the little miscellaneous shit you would do that, like, added up and took up a bunch of time, so now it's way smoother.
Oh my god. Gathering.
It gets to the point faster.
Yeah, gathering is much faster.
I gather on the way to monsters. That's how I get my shit.
Yeah, because you don't have to stop at all. Unless
Exactly.
you're, like, at
Unless
a
you're-
mining block, and even then, that takes way less time.
And
Yeah,
you don't have
either-
to carry pickaxes, and you don't have to carry bug nets, you don't have to carry all this shit anymore. You just go over, while you're running, just hit circle. That's it.
Well, you still have a bug net on you, but it never leaves your inventory.
Exactly.
But if it's like small, like bugs, like thunder bugs, you just grab it and go. But if it's like special creatures, you can just capture them with your bug net or hit monsters with
it's
it.
like a capture net. You load your like sling, which is another new thing altogether.
Oh, I spend so much time just using the capture net trying to capture anything. Like, there are regular monsters, there are the big monsters, and then there are the little creatures that you don't actually fight, but you can capture and get points from. And I spend so much time just looking for those.
And you can actually set those up in your like in-game room as pets.
Yeah,
too.
like how I can have a bunch of carpenter ants, although, no!
I have 3 super rare, like animal/fish in my room. One of them's like a big bouncy weird bird that makes noises. One's a rainbow hercudrome, and the other is a spotted fish. If only you could like have friends like check your rooms out, but instead you just have to watch like streams or videos of it. You can't actually go into other players' rooms still.
Well, whatever.
I wish you could. It'd be nice to see other people's carrier ants just everywhere.
Yeah, I just have one of the hairs in my room, and I didn't even notice it at first, but Once you walk around a little bit, it starts like following you around. It's adorable.
You can actually sit on the bed and like throw food at it too.
Mm-hmm.
There was another animation where it wasn't just throwing food, but like sat down and it's like the dragonfly thing. One animation just came over and petted it, and then my hunter just whacked it in the face. I'm like, what did you do? What was that? Your hunter's an asshole.
So in case are going on for like a few minutes just about the pet feature and all the like little creatures that are out in the wild, there is so much shit to do in this game.
Yeah.
Like there are the assign hunts, there are optional hunts, there are investigations that you can go on, expeditions you can go on, you can register bounties for doing certain tasks. God, what else am I forgetting? There are like resource things you could do, like gather X amount of this, do this many quests looking for this kind of monster. It's just never a dull moment in this.
Oh no, of course not. And what's great is that in this game, it's all the areas are just one big area you can just go around and explore. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with the environment too.
Oh yeah.
Like the monsters can crash into things and destroy stuff. It can even get trapped in certain things like vines. You can even use your slinger, which is a new thing. You can find like stones and things you can load up into like an armed slingshot. And you can shoot. You can like pelt the monsters with rocks, or you can actually do something where it's like you can aim up at like a rock that's hanging up above, and you can shoot it down the monster for big damage. It's really good.
Oh, that's another thing too is large monster interaction.
Yeah.
Like how they can square off with each other. And
Yeah, they call those like turf wars in this game.
I did recently find out that those are scripted, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, it is.
That's what we figured in the beta, but
they are scripted,
Man.
but it's nice to see like an advanced form of interaction, whereas like in the past Monster Hunters, they would be in the same area and like not acknowledge each other at all, and just try to like push each
or
other
just
out of the
bump
way.
bodies into each other. That
the
still
AI
happens though.
In the older games, the AI would target the other monster if it saw it as a threat. So like, but it would treat it just like a player. It wouldn't treat it like its own monster like it does now. So like, if Devil Joe showed up in the middle of fighting Kurapeko, it would start attacking Kurapeko if Kurapeko's attacked it.
All right, thanks for the clarification on that.
Yeah. But it's just because the AI in those games just treats monsters as players if another monster sees it.
Dude, I can't wait for the Devil Joe DLC and see if they implement turf wars somehow with him.
Yeah.
That's probably why that's also taking more time. Because like, if you want to put in a new monster, like, what if they turf war with each other?
By the way,
What would turf war with?
speaking of monsters, I do want to say that I like that in this game too, that each quest isn't restricted to just 2 big monsters. It's now several different big monsters could show up. Like, say you're hunting a Pookie, you might have to fight Azhinoth, Rathalos, like a couple of other monsters that could just show up.
Yeah, Great Jagras, Kuluyaku.
So, if you do one of these quests solo and you don't know what you're getting yourself into, you could have 3 monsters in the same room fighting each other. Or not fighting each other, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but even so, they've added like tracking options that make it way simpler. The Scoutfly system is so useful for this. And they kind of need it considering just how massive the maps are now.
Not to mention you can like fast travel to like different camps you can discover on those maps too, and
Yeah, so you're not spending like several minutes backtracking because you missed something somewhere else.
Also, there's no loading between zones anymore because of this.
yeah, it's all one big area. It's just one big concise area. Anyway,
Now, admittedly, I'm a little behind you guys. I'm only Hunter rank 5, so there's still a lot that I haven't seen. But in terms of like monster variety, where do you think that is?
so far I'd say it's a decent mix of both returning monsters and new ones, or at least new variations of monsters that we've kind of seen before, but they're still pretty new here.
I could interject, since I am like further than like everyone in this podcast right now.
I think you're only a little bit ahead of me.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
at least one other returning monster I saw, and there's 2 that feel like actual palette swaps. Like, not just color, but like, this has like the same body type, but the face is different, and this one's just red.
Yeah, but that's always been a thing of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but like, these ones are basically like whatchamacallits of like monsters I already saw earlier, even though they still act differently. One of them definitely acts differently, and the other one I have not fought yet.
Okay, I have a question. Of those monsters that you just described, how, like returning monsters in particular, how many of them can fly?
Okay, let's see. 1.
Well, Rathian and Rathalos, obviously.
So 3. I can name 3. And I think there's a 4th that I accidentally got spoiled on, but I'm not surprised considering what number 3 is. So I'd say 4 returning monsters fly, based on what I know.
Because I'm a little interested in like how this is technically a whole different world from like where the past Monster Hunters were, but they still like work in references to things. Like you can clearly tell these people were from the old world and are in the new settlement. Particularly the one guy who keeps saying jumping Jaggies, even though Jaggies aren't on that island.
Jumping Jaggies.
I think the story does eventually explain, like, exactly, like, stuff, because there is a quest I did in high rank that is, like, old world monster in the new world. It's literally called that. And that's monster number 3 I mentioned. Whenever you get to trying to figure out what that monster is in the story mode, you'll probably know what it is before you can fight it.
Oh, I have a question. And it's good that Zero's here, because you've, like, played the most of them, and you'd be, like, in the best place to answer this. Okay, how can I describe this?
Is this the best Monster Hunter?
Yes. No.
Well,
No.
I've only been playing the game for a week, but I think my answer to that is going to become yes.
Because it's taking, like, things that are already established and,
It
largely
fixes
improving on them? Or...
so many problems that Monster Hunter's had for years. Like, I mentioned this in my beta video, that there's so many things they fixed that should have been fixed a long time ago. But they're just like, it makes more sense now. So I haven't played it enough to go back to, say, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite and play that and compare. But I have a feeling that, like, it's going to feel like a chore after playing Monster Hunter World for so long to play the older ones.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be spoiled by some of the things in World.
Yeah, like, eventually...
Like, just for example, I'm playing Monster Hunter Dynamic Hunting on my iPod Touch right now. It is way not on the level.
Well,
Scott, didn't I play that at Youmacon once? That was the weird touchpad one where I just told the panel dude I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. It apparently works on iPod Touch still, so I found my iPod Touch and I started playing with it. And apparently also, Tales of Fantasia also still works on it, which I thought that got removed.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm downloading it and I can play it now. So
maybe it's because you own it?
Like, even then, it's a terrible version of that game.
Yeah. But anyways, no, but like, I don't want to just say that Monster Hunter World is my favorite, because I've only played it for a week. I gotta give it more time and I gotta play more of the game.
Yeah,
but like, the one that is, like, has been my favorite for a long time is 3 Ultimate, just because of the content you get, and because of its first version, Try, a lot of you guys started playing Monster Hunter, and I was like, oh my god, I have people to play with other than Corey.
I know it sounds crazy. Part of me prefers Try over 3 Ultimate only because it was my first. Like, you don't forget your first. I have a bigger connection to that. That being said, I still put a lot of time in 3 Ultimate, but Try was like the biggest time sink I probably ever had with the series. And World might become the next biggest time sink.
And I will say, you know, when I do, because I am working on a Monster Hunter retrospective, but just these are big games.
Don't worry, that footage is still lingering.
Yeah, I think I actually deleted all my footage, so I think I have to re-record some of it, which is fine because the footage was old anyways. But I will still be covering Try when I get to that point, because it's important, because Try was kind of a high point for the series.
And I actually still have online footage for that unfinished RCG video series.
Exactly.
Try was
But
the
I
first-
mean,
Oh yeah.
Try was
but-
the first
but-
time that I saw like major advertisement for a Monster Hunter game. Like I didn't know what Monster Hunter was until I saw Try.
I literally pre-ordered. I pre-ordered Try to get the collector's edition of it, which was just to get the controller back then. And I think you streamed Try, and I'm like, wait, you have Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
And I was like, let's hunt. And he's like, oh, you know what this game is? I'm like, yeah, I've been playing them since the PS2. And then everybody's like, oh, this looks interesting. I should get it too.
Yeah, like
That's
everyone was
typical.
playing it, and I'm like, well, Wii Online is free, so I rented it, and then I eventually bought the bundle.
I mean, that's how we got, such great classics as 7 Seconds.
Or me screaming high pitched when Devil Joe spawned in my face.
Or
That
the
video
Legend of-
still exists,
The Legend of Benope.
but nope is
Where are you, Benope?
okay. Now I have to change. Now the welcome message for the squad is going to be the Benope worshipping squad, but only after you guys see the fucking slander I put in the fucking.
Oh,
But
I
speaking
can't
of that-
wait.
But speaking of which, it is cool that you can actually make your own squad. We do have an RCG squad on Monster Hunter.
Yeah. By the way, just gotta say, the squad thing is so useful.
It's cumbersome, I will admit, because if you're not in the squad and it's like, okay, join. No, you have to do it through the squad search session. Oh, but it's private because we privatized it. And then, like, once the actual player's in, that's when you're able to, like, actually invite the player to the squad through the player list. Same with guild cards, but guild cards is still fine. It's worked as pretty much as guild cards have worked in the past,
Yeah,
and they
like-
still serve a function for mechanics
Oh yeah.
in the game to help with materials and all that. So
But I mean, it's they've made it a lot better because now rooms are not limited to 4 people, which I always thought was kind of dumb.
Yeah, there's now sessions where up to 16 people, and initially you are just throwing in like a random one, but you can make a squad where it's just like you just go into that squad session,
Exactly.
basically, which is useful for us.
Which something I need to figure out if I can make my own squad, but also still be part of another squad.
you can have up to 8.
Okay, because I was going to make a
I'm
stream
in
squad.
I'm in Diganino's squad. I'm not. That is. I'm not the leader of that squad. That was just the other group.
Oh yeah, John St. John's the leader of that squad.
Oh man. Is that his announcement on Facebook that yo, check it out, Diganino Squad of Monster Hunter, all my fans are gonna like it.
Does he have a voice? Does he have a voice role in World?
No, but DC
He
Douglas,
should.
DC Douglas has a voice role.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
Isn't
he was
also-
voice acting too for this.
Is it
series,
Matt
which is
Mercer in it
interesting.
too?
I think
Yep.
so, yeah.
Yeah, I hear Matt Mercer, I hear DC Douglas.
Good grief.
Well, I can't wait to see the credits to see who is what, because these are all familiar voices that sound like they're just anime dub people.
I have Ouroboros armor.
But yeah, DC Douglas is one of the researcher dudes, and I didn't notice it until I heard him like during a roundtable discussion where his Wesker slipped out a bit. I'm like, wait, was that DC Douglas? I kind of freaked. And of course, Kylo Ren is in the game.
Do you
What?
mean the actual actor or?
No, just
Oh.
there's a guy called the Huntsman.
Oh, you
Who
just
has
called
a
the Huntsman
helmet?
Kylo Ren, yeah.
Yeah, because he has a cool helmet. And his voice is deep. Because the helmet's on, so...
Right.
I want to know what the map is.
Well, yeah. Talking about the voice actors, it is.
adopted
it's-
hunting. I was born into it.
Anyway,
famous titties for 200.
Famous titles, Mr. Connery.
Bonnie, go ahead.
no, keep going with the bad impersonations.
No.
Please, derailing.
I'm done being stupid. Go ahead.
Sorry. Don't mean to get bitter. Yeah, going back to the voice acting, it's interesting to see that this is the first entry to have full voice acted cutscenes and such. I mean,
Yeah.
there is an option to have like the traditional like Monster Hunter language, which is like kind of the gibberish mutterings that they had in the the sound bites from the older games.
Which to point out, the cutscenes are all lip synced to follow the Monster Hunter language. You would think, okay, if they have voice acting, maybe they synced it to Japanese. No, they synced it to Monster Hunter language.
By the way, can I just say it's really nice that we can get a Monster Hunter game that not only runs at 60 frames per second, but also looks like a modern game.
Well,
Only if you have a Pro.
and
not a,
60
okay.
frames.
Let me put it this way: not a consistent 60 frames on a non-pro, but at least 60 to 30.
Well, sometimes.
Well,
it's
even then
60.
on
It feels
Pro,
like it.
it's still like if you, depending on like the option,
Yeah,
like for
I have a Pro,
prioritizing.
so I can like detail this a little bit. When you start off the game, you have the option to like pick what the game prioritizes. You can prioritize like graphical quality, you can prioritize frame rate, and then there's another option, and I'm just on frame rate. So I've had a perfectly smooth experience so far.
That's good.
The only time the frame rate for me on the regular PS4 got fucking weird, it was just like an online thing, and we don't know what the hell happened. I was in a session with CJ and someone else, and it would chug, and it only happened like twice. And nothing intensive was happening on the screen. We don't know if it was just like an internet thing or something. It
Yeah,
was bizarre, and it was super rare that happened.
Were you with me when that happened?
I don't see. I don't know who the
I
other
recall
person
that-
was. It may have been you.
Well, I say that because I recall that happening with an online game too. But
Well,
it could have been just a lag thing or something.
the main thing that I noticed with the frame rate is stuff in the distance tends to be lower frame rate. Like, for example, when we did the Horizon Zero Dawn event quest, the flying wyvern monsters in the background, you could kind of see like the flapping of their wings becoming like a slideshow.
That
They
may be
almost-
because of the engine Capcom's using, and they use that for like optimization.
Which
Because
let me just
The best example comparison where they did the same trick was Mercenaries 3D on the 3DS, where if you see enemies in the distance, the frame rate is terrible.
well,
But then
let,
you get
let-
closer and it smooths out.
let me just preface this by saying that doesn't bother me. If the monsters in the background don't have a better frame rate, that's fine. It's what I'm fighting in the foreground that I care about. It doesn't. I haven't experienced it where it dips below 30 yet, but I mean it's almost consistently 30 to 60, and a lot of the times, you know, I'll be getting 60 frames with like 3 other people helping me hunt a monster. So it's optimized well enough that I don't feel like I need I need a PS4 Pro. You know,
There hasn't been any moments in the game where I felt something went wrong with my technique or stuff because of the frame rate. Everything still felt like it was responding well.
The point I wanted to make with it being like this game actually looks like, you know, a current gen game and runs like one is that, you know, we've had other Monster Hunters on HD consoles, like Monster Hunter Portable Third on the PS3 and Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U. Now, those
Those are
games,
upscaled handheld games.
yes, those games look fine, look good, but the Portable Third, by the way, it's not an upscale version. It's different than the PSP version. They're using a different engine, I think, for it or something like that. But
it still looks
I know what you mean.
PS2-ish. Yeah.
Like they're basically HD PS2 games. We've never had it where, you know, they look like, you know, that looks like a PS4 game.
Yeah, with that much production value and such.
Yeah. So it's really nice that we actually finally get a Monster Hunter game that looks really good next to like Monster Hunter Online, which is based on your PC.
And is pretty much China only.
Yeah.
Another notable thing with World is that, as far as I know, this is the first region-free Monster Hunter game where we can actually play with Japanese people or Europeans. No more
Oh yeah.
only Western people play with Western and stuff.
Oh yeah. Like I've sent off what are they called?
And SOS flares?
SOS flares. Yeah. And I've
Another
gotten
good thing.
Japanese people before.
Oh yeah, I get them a ton. Like if I'm grinding something that's like desirable, send an SOS flare, they're gonna hop right in. And I think that's cool. I mean, there's still the language barrier, but at least there's the same goal and idea, and that's to like hunt monsters and grind for 50 billion hours.
And I mean, CJ even got a couple of randoms called Ricky Dicky and Poop Master. So
Shouldn't
you
that
could
be
get
Dung?
Ricky Dicky and Poop Master.
Shouldn't that be Dung Master? I mean,
Poop with 2 zeros and a capital A at the end with an H after it. Poop Master.
When do you get slap nuts?
Oh my god, does somebody have to make slap nuts?
Slap nuts. What'd you call me? Slap nuts. Yeah, slap nuts. Get out of here. Ooh, this game. I'm glad it's my current time sink. Much to Xenoblade 2's dismay, unfortunately. I want to keep going through that game, but it's like back and forth between long RPG and grind game.
Xenoblade, more like Monster Blade.
No, not like Hunter Blade that I showed at the panel.
Hunter Blade. What a game.
Yeah, the game you can't play anymore.
I remember I actually played that for a bit when it came out.
That must have went great.
Oh boy, you know it.
SCR, is there anything you wanted to add with World?
Well,
Like
I can
anything
add that
else you
we're not
noticed?
the only ones who are appreciating World, because 3 days after it launched in Japan, within that country, 1.35 million copies sold. And
Isn't it sold worldwide 5 million?
It has shipped 5 million copies worldwide. So it does look like there are a decent number of people who are buying it in like North America and Europe.
well, this is like a really good time to get into the series, and also because it's like, you know, it's on systems that a lot of people have, especially PS4. I mean, it is coming up for PC, but not till like later. But even then, it's like,
Okay, so
Any
according
PC.
to this, I don't know how accurate this is, but I found a posting that says Monster Hunter World is the first PS4 title to surpass 1 million sales on the first week in Japan. I mean, I'm not surprised, because it's Japan.
How are
And they
those
fucking
Xbox
love
One
it.
sales doing in Japan?
what, to like the 5 people that have that bought a system there?
Yeah, I'm incredibly happy because Monster Hunter is always that game that I tell people about, and they're like, oh, what's that? And it's like you and the only thing I can really say is, in short, you hunt monsters. And then people will be like, well, that doesn't sound that interesting. And it's just like, well, I could go into a whole long explanation why it's a great game, but it's honestly better if you just play it yourself. And the thing about it is, and the reason why I'm liking this game so much is not only because they fix a lot of things that, you know, we've all, you know, been like, that probably should be like this instead of being that ass backwards way you've been doing it for years. It just makes it easier for new players, because
yes.
I used to say, if you're gonna play Monster Hunter and you've never played it before, get 3 Ultimate, because that's, at the time, that was the most friendly, user-friendly game. Of course,
And then 4 Ultimate comes out. 4 Ultimate comes out. This is the time to get Generations. Now is the time. World.
Did not
Now
recommend-
is the time.
I did not really recommend 4 Ultimate and Generations, not because I don't think they're good games, just because most of the people that I talked to who had 3DSs at the time did not have new 3DSs or 3DS XLs, and playing Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate on a regular 3DS fucking sucked.
Hey, I had to deal with it along with Generations.
That's why I never got to G rank in 4. Or maybe it was Generations. I can't remember which one it was. I didn't get to G rank in 1.
I beat the story in 4 Ultimate, I believe, and I know I beat the story in Generations because there was a credit sequence that just kind of confused the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But I never played too much past that because by then, I'll be honest, I was getting burnt out.
And yeah, to be fair, I was feeling the
And
burnout.
Generations did a lot of stuff I loved. I loved being able to jump off monsters with
But
the greatsword and slash them like that. That
Yeah.
was fun. But I was burnt out, and 3DS was starting to, I was starting to drift away from 3DS a little bit.
and
World
that's-
is reinvigorating everything, and I love that.
And that's kind of the point I was trying to make. Like, a lot of people who I'd say, get Monster Hunter, they'd be like, oh, I played one for a little bit on the 3DS at one point. And it's kind of like the way they mention it is like, it was on the 3DS, I wish it was on something else, is kind of what I felt people were saying. And don't get me wrong, I think it was great that we got those games, and I think the 3DS is a great system, but I'm just like, it's a little stilted to play Monster Hunter on the 3DS. And this is coming from somebody who played 3 major Monster Hunter games on the PSP. So
with arguably worse feeling analog stick.
Exactly, and
because it's not a stick.
the claw and all that shit. So it's just like the fact, and this is, I feel like finally now people who I've been recommending Monster Hunter to who have never played them are now picking it up because they're like, oh, I can get it on my PS4, or oh, I can get it on my Xbox One. And even my boss picked up Monster Hunter. He picked it up on Xbox One, which pissed me off, but he picked it up.
He gave Monster Hunter a sale and a shot, and if he digs in, you can complain his console choice all you want, but if he's in love with the game, that's a win.
Oh yeah, he was telling me a story about how pissed off he was the other night that he only got to play it for a little bit because his cat wouldn't leave him alone. Because he's got this 2-year-old kitten who just like yells loudly, and he's in an apartment.
So he's got his own Palico, and he has to deal with the Palico in the game.
If he doesn't shut his Palico up, he doesn't get to play the game late at night. So, and he's a nighthawk like me. So, it was. I mean, and it's funny because like I'll have chats with him. And he'll be like, I'll feel like, all right, we've got to talk about how you're doing. We've got to talk about all the stuff you fixed. No, every time I talk to him, it's like Monster Hunter now. He's like, so I got to Hunter Rank 4 and I took down such and such. I'm like, oh, I thought you wanted to talk to me about something. He's like, yeah, Monster Hunter. Keep in mind, he's not using like company time to do that. If I happen to come by on a break or something, he's like, so yeah, Monster Hunter. So it's getting people to try the game, and even one of the other people at work who has been on the fence, he's like, I've been watching some streams and it looks pretty good, I might pick it up. And he's even been like, okay, I gotta pick this game up now. Like, the thing that I gotta say that sucks so much about this is having it released the same day as Dragon Ball FighterZ makes it really hard because I want to play both games and I know Monster Hunter's taking all of my time.
Yeah, but one hell of a release date to have those 2 games.
Exactly. I gotta pick up FighterZ, and I mean,
or Fighters.
I think it's FighterZ. I can't remember how they're saying it, but I
think it's Fighters.
I'm holding off.
It's just Fighters.
I'm holding off because if I pick it up now, I know I won't touch it because Monster Hunter is going to be taking all my time.
Fair enough. It's not
like I said, Xenoblade is suffering, and I'm like only on chapter 4 in that game. There may be days where I'm like, I don't want to grind or proceed in Monster Hunter. I guess I'll play some Xenoblade. And then it's like, okay, Monster Hunter.
You're still 4 chapters ahead of me, so there's that.
Well, you're still on X, so I'm like a game ahead at this rate.
I'm still on 1, technically.
I'm 2 games ahead at this rate.
I've still only barely played, like, Chronicles 1 and X.
I've beaten a third of the last story. Does that count?
I've beaten half of it.
You beat 1/9 of Project Rainfall, Operation Rainfall, I guess.
I got to the one this one part in the game, and I stopped and I tried to pick it up again and couldn't remember how to play, so I had to start over. So
the story of anyone's backlog.
Oh man, dude, it took me 5 years to beat Xenoblade 1. Like, there was a huge gap of not playing,
still
and getting back, and then a big month break, and then just a hard let's do it.
Anyways, not to go off on a tangent, I think it's only been at a week. We've only been playing it a week, but I still think that Monster Hunter World is probably the best game in the series so far. Like, just like how they have executed things. Again, we got to wait till what downloadable content comes out. We've all got to get to the later part of the games. G rank I don't even think is out yet. So
if it's coming, I'm not sure if they said.
I think G rank is coming, but I don't think they're releasing it yet because they don't want people to grind all the way to G rank, and so new players have a chance to get up and build up to it. So
yeah, because then you'll have lobbies where they just boot you,
which is kind of a good thing because it means that they're taking their time with G rank as well as making it so that giving those new players time to get used to the game, and then they'll drop G rank on everybody. And then
because if you reach G rank and you're still new, like somehow you might get crushed.
Just another.
It is a big difficulty jump.
Just another example, like Monster Hunter 4. Just another example. I considered that I played that game a lot, but I couldn't play it as much as I could previous games because I had other commitments. But I hopped back in, and a bunch of you guys were already G rank, so I had to bust my ass to get up to G rank, and then I didn't really even want to play G rank when I got there. I just was kind of like, oh well, I'm kind of bored of this.
I don't think we played too much of G rank.
I remember.
No,
I can't remember if it was 4 or Generations. We got to the Elder Dragons. We were fighting a lot of Chameleos.
I never fought Chameleos.
I fought a ton
it
of
was like-
Chameleos, and then I got bored.
I remember doing that with you, and even then I only got to like,
Generations also does not have G rank.
I only got to like bronze G rank, which was like the low G rank.
Yeah.
And for you,
3 Ultimate, we got pretty much all the way to G rank.
I'm pretty sure I completed almost everything in 3 Ultimate. I haven't done everything. I think there's still stuff that I haven't beaten, but there is a lot there. And I mean, this is when you compare games, the content, I think 4 Ultimate and Freedom Unite have the most content of any of the Monster Hunter games.
4 Ultimate is a big package.
4 Ultimate is huge, and I mean, Freedom Unite is also huge because it has things like it has both Fatalies, it has both Lao Shans. Yeah, it has fucking. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. Who knows? They might give us a monster in Monster Hunter World that's on the level of White Fatalie. Because for those of you who don't speak Monster Hunter and don't know what I'm talking about, White Fatalie is one of the hardest monster fights in the entire franchise. You can't fight it sword and shield. If you fight it, or you can't fight it with a melee weapon. If you do, you have to dodge everything. Because if he touches you, you die, even with the best armor in the game. So you almost have to fight him with bow or gunner, and even then you can't get hit. Like, you have to do basically the entire thing without dying. And it's for no reason, it's the hardest thing that Monster Hunter has ever produced, but the armor set is so worth it.
Of course.
It's like it's I don't think Monster Hunter needs a fight like that again, but I definitely want them to bring on something that's to that caliber where like you get such a huge reward for putting in the effort for it. And it's not to say that you don't get a huge reward for the effort you put in now, but I'd like to see them do something like that, so to basically have to say, yeah, I took this motherfucker down. You know what I mean? Like, just to preface, Corey and I did so many runs of White Fatalie. I think there was a week or two where that's all we did is fight White Fatalie. It was ridiculous, but we got the full armor sets, and I'm pretty sure I don't have that game save data anymore.
Time to do it all over again.
Yep.
I can't wait to do that during the retrospective.
The day I lose my try save data on Wii is the day I cry.
So when I get to that part in the retrospective, you guys all gonna play Freedom Unite with me and take on White Fatalie?
We're not gonna get that.
Let me evolve a third hand so I cannot do resort to the claw.
Here's what you can do.
You play it on PlayStation TV.
There's some
I
saves.
have to re-download it.
You can get some saves off of GameFAQs that has like all the best shit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if we
Yeah,
just
I
want
know.
to fight or just steal the save file,
Exactly.
we'll have the same names, but who cares?
I may have to do that for one of the retrospective parts if I get down to it. So, but whatever. I played through the whole game. I know what I'm experiencing. Either way, I just to bring it all back, I think that this Monster Hunter being the most newbie friendly is a great thing because it's never been newbie friendly. I would have never gotten into Monster Hunter if Corey, my friend Corey, hadn't happened to lend it to me and explain the entire thing to me when we were playing. Like, he had to be there and explain to me how the game worked because the first game did not do a good job of that. And the games have gotten better at it, but this is the first time where it's like, okay, this is how you play Monster Hunter to make it easy for someone new. And, you know, I might be like, you don't need to give me a tutorial for this, but at least they're only like
but
4 text boxes.
But with a game like that with so many factors and intricacies and all these different things and mechanics, you kind of need all those tutorials, even for guys like us.
By the way, speaking of tutorials, can I just say that I like it that it doesn't force you to do something?
Yes.
The tutorial maybe forces you to do something once, and then anytime you get something new, it explains it, and that's it. That's much better than saying, you have to beat this impossible tutorial level that takes at least half an hour to an hour, and then you can finally play the game. I like that they don't do that.
Alright, spend an hour gathering, and that's it. We're not even gonna have you fight for an hour.
Your quest is to cook meat.
That's how the original Monster Hunter did it. This is how
we
we teach you
know.
to play the game.
Yeah.
Go cook meat.
Quest complete! Turn that meat in!
And I remember saying to myself, when I first played the original Monster Hunter. You know, it's called Monster Hunter. I've been playing this game for 3 hours, and I haven't hunted a monster yet. I think it's great. Anyways, I've probably gone off on more tangents than I possibly could, but, you know, I've been with this series since the first game came out in 0304, so I have a lot to talk about.
Hey, we have a lot to talk about too. The rest of us have been with it since Try, and even then, I'd say that's a pretty like intermediate entryway point at this point.
Try was definitely the big boom for Monster Hunter, and now this is the second big boom, I would say.
Also, don't feel bad about dying, because even someone like me died and complained about it. But don't worry.
You haven't said Abandoned Quest yet, so I think we're okay.
I'm holding back from Try-era shit, even though one of my shoutouts is Abandoned Quest with my character stomping the ground angrily.
I know.
I have shouted Abandoned Quest.
But not actually for real, though. Like, where you mean it. You've just been doing it as a meme at this point.
Well, it's a
I want...
If I die twice, I'll Abandoned Quest.
What I want you to bring back from the Try era is the theme songs.
Well, I came up with one.
Well, did you bring back Bring the Noise at least?
Yeah, I did the egg quest last night and blasted that. Why do you think our squad emblem is an egg?
I just want to see like the new like theme songs you make for the monsters. Like I'm just wondering, what would Frosty Pookie Eddie Eddies be?
Well, we already have like Barbara Streisand's Nose for Anjana.
Oh God. Well, that was just the name I came up. I didn't think we'd actually use a song.
No.
But, you know, fine, we'll use that Terry Funk song in there. I used a Yakuza 0 boss fight song for O'Daggerin. The others I haven't really thought about. Because I'm just I'm just too focused on just having fun with the game, other than memeing it up right now. Memeing it up will happen once I've seen everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Our own inside joke memes, yeah. But yeah, this game is a lot of fun. And it's not just the fact that, you know, this is a really good streamlined design entry in terms of like what they actually improved on. There's also a lot of new stuff here that's actually super fun to use. Like even for stuff that's not even like not super prevalent through the game, but there's still great. There's still like fun stuff just to mess around with, like the grappling hook thing you can use on certain things, and new items that you get, like mantles that do different effects depending on what one you wear that you put on during a quest, and other items too. And Palico has all sorts of stuff too. It's great.
Oh my God, Palico armor is adorable.
It's always been adorable.
But
it's adorable in HD.
The Toby Kadachi armor. He looks like he's ready to play in the snow.
Except there is no snow map, really.
I love it.
At least not yet, unless they add maps in DLC.
Before we overdose on Palico cuteness, I'm cutting this off.
Okay, yeah. There's just one last thing. There's just too much to talk about, so game's good. This might be my favorite one. Of course, in terms of general broadness and like refined mechanics, this is probably the best one.
Yeah.
Just don't look at the 0-star reviews. They're just like, why isn't this archaic? It's fucking casualized. I'm like, it's not. It just doesn't feel stiff anymore.
Are people giving it 0 stars on Metacritic or something stupid like that?
Yes. Look around. You should see the GameFly reviews.
Oh fuck.
No, GameFly says the darndest things.
Well, I mean, loud vocal minorities are going to be loud, so.
It has a 7.1 on GameFly.
Alright, after fighting the mechanical dinosaurs of Horizon Zero Dawn, the dino encounters in this game feel wholly unsatisfying. 5 out of 10. But it has graphics are not up to par. Obvious pop-in texture. Lip sync is way off.
Oh, well.
Fireflies hold your hand through everything. Main character doesn't talk. Character creation is not in depth. It actually kind of is. Gameplay is clunky. No. This was obviously aimed at kids. Feels like playing a Disney cartoon. Sound isn't well balanced. Finally, you can't pause the game.
Oh my god, that's been a complaint in the GameFly reviews for like Try and stuff.
Wait,
like it honestly has been.
We haven't tested offline mode because if you play offline in the other games, you can pause the game. You just have to go to the menu and then do it. But you can play the game offline, but we're usually connected online as soon as we log in, so we haven't tested it. Oh, here's a good in-depth review. Great idea, fun at some points. There are some flaws. 7 out of 10. By the way, the whole
BF.
the one I just said is like a 6 out of 10. All right, you'll love this. Okay game, not the best. It's an okay game. If you like fighting monsters, then this game is okay for you. But I wouldn't, as one word, rent this game if you don't like fighting monsters. It's kind of complicated if it's your first time playing. 2 out of 10. Boring. Boring for me.
Thank you, Jason39. That was very useful.
Alright, boring for me. Did not click at all. Map I found confusing, lost a lot. The graphics PS3 style, just yawned. 3 out of 10.
How does this look like a PS3 game?
A lot of people's perceptions are really skewed on like what was PS3 like 10 years ago.
Now, look, these reviews are terrible. The rest of them are just like, you know, they're higher rated, but like they're not in
GameFly reviews are
in-depth.
notoriously awful.
But like, here's the thing: if the game doesn't click with you, fine. Some games don't. But if you just spout bullshit, that's when we kind of just question. I want to move on, but I'm on the Xbox One. This is it.
Oh,
Once I do the
on.
Xbox One review, dude, this is great. Couldn't even start a group to do co-op. They make it impossible. The game combat is clunky all over the place. So glad I rented this instead of buying worst RPG I have ever played. out of 10. Not sure what the hype was with this game. It's awful. Just more of the same old Japanese garbage. 3 out of 10. He said attack, evade, repeat. Was kind of expecting to play this game, being as I've never played a previous version, but that was probably my first mistake. It's not that much of an open world at all. Very linear theme park with intersecting paths and invisible walls. Slow gameplay and a lot of unnecessary running around at your base just to do simple things like change your gear. Oh, this guy would have hated the old ones. This small time sink extends onto play with every monster encounter, ending in you chasing the thing around almost as much as you actually fight it. And the hunting is beyond lame. I want to hunt, not follow a sparkling trail to the monster's location. Waste of time, but hey, it's Capcom. 3 out of 10.
That was his entire review right there, but hey, it's Capcom.
Oh, I've got 2 more 1 out of 10s.
Oh my God.
Stupid game! Takes forever to kill and monster and weak damage with weapons. I'm glad I didn't buy this for $60. Worst RPG game. If you are new to gaming, then rent this game. I could only play about 120 minutes of it. Nothing worse than a game holding your hand the entire time you play it. The main character never talks, and there were times where they didn't talk at all, and only subtitles. What? Plus, even after playing it for hours, I still had no real control over the character. Capcom should just stick with 1v1 fighter games and shooters. Stay away from RPG. 1 out of 10. So, the game's a 1 out of 10, but if you're new to gaming, rent it.
My favorite is the other one you said. Stupid game!
That's the title of that one. And that's it.
Can we check on the Metacritic score for Monster Hunter World? Just
91%.
Pardon?
So, I'm not on Metacritic.
91%.
There we go. So
Is that the user or the real reviews?
User review is 8.1.
That's still pretty fine.
That's
but
still,
of course, there's
that's
the.
still good.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the low ones.
Somebody
are...
gave it a 0. Endgame is watching
Hello
big
again,
monster
hunters,
fight.
and welcome
Even
to the
flee. Even ammunition that let monster flee F only work around 5 seconds in the.
Wait, say that again?
Even the ammunition that let monsters flee F only work around 5 seconds in the.
The what?
Okay, that is not the final boss. He didn't even get near it. I know what he's fighting, and that's not the final boss. I could be wrong, but that is... If it's what monster I think it is, that is not the final boss.
And that brings Monster Hunter World to a close. You realize I'm cutting out half of those GameFly reviews, right?
Oh my god, that Metacritic review that I read was written yesterday.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
So, we are changing the format of the podcast a little bit. We are still going to have Q&A, but we're not going to do it every time where I make up bullshit questions on the fly. So, if you want to submit a question to eventually be answered, you can do it in the comments section for this video or the following video, you can comment on our Facebook page, facebook.com/RiverCityGamers, or on our website, RiverCityGamers.com, under this podcast post. Or you can also hear us on
Shout Engine.
Wow, that is a great service.
Yes.
What was
yes,
that
it
service
is.
again?
That is,
Shout Engine.
and you can comment there, maybe. I will mention one, just because this has been lingering since the E3 podcast, but Horseplay asked, SCXCR, how much do I have to pay you to make a Strumming the Baseline video series for the entire Bloody Roar 2 soundtrack? $60.
There you go.
Sorry that response was so late, but there's your answer.
I don't know why it's $60, but it's $60.
I was gonna just say, why specifically
I
$60?
don't know.
That's
That's
how
Like,
much
does,
games
now,
cost.
does he have to make that a single Patreon payment, or?
Or make like a down payment and then monthly payments?
Do you offer like a better interest rate if he does monthly payments?
We'll figure that out later. For now, let's get into what's new. So, anything game-related you're looking forward to, anything you're doing soon, videos, streams, what have you, just have at it.
Who's going
Shadow
first?
of the Colossus.
I forgot
Yeah?
about that.
That is, as of recording, in a few days.
Guess what, guys? You're not gonna be able to play it. You're gonna be busy playing Monster Hunter.
I'm gonna try and set aside time to give Shadow of the Colossus a real chance, because I didn't continue it on PS2. And it's
You're
just
like,
been
all
sitting-
right,
You know what?
can't wait to boot up Shadow of the Colossus. You take Monster Hunter out of your PS4.
Oh,
the disc
boy.
just stares at you, and you're just like,
No,
maybe I'll play a little bit more Monster Hunter.
Or
The
just refuses
Xenoblade
to come out.
cartridge is staring at me going, I don't like your attitude. I don't like it at all. Play the Switch.
But yeah, I've played the PS2 version of Shadow Colossus, and it's a really good game. But if you haven't played it, or at least haven't fully played through Shadow Colossus, this definitely looks like a good entry point for this.
This is the best chance it's ever gonna get
Yeah.
for me personally.
And
So
even
if
for
I
someone-
don't follow up on it, that means I'll never play Persona either.
And even, and even for someone like me that already has played through it and did get the HD collection on PS3 with Ico, this still looks like something I would want to get again, because it looks that good. Because it was like, it's basically it's like a remake of sorts, right?
What, Shadow?
Yeah.
It is from the ground up remake that is aiming to be super true to the original, and based on reviews, they nailed it super hard.
Well, yeah. So I'll probably will get it eventually.
There are benefits on the PlayStation Pro, by the way.
Of course.
You can have 60 frames on it, which part of me that looks so weird to me. Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, especially if you play it on PS2, because
that one's just like unplayable frame rate at this rate.
No, it wasn't unplayable. I still played it, but there were times where it was slow, but only because there was a lot of things going on. For us.
So, if this does well, do you guys think they're gonna remake Ico?
Ooh,
That would be another good argument.
I'd
The
like
thing
to see
is,
that.
Shadow of the Colossus has a bigger following than Ico
Ico
did.
still has a pretty decent following too.
Shadow of the Colossus was bigger though, which is pretty
Yeah.
clear why they picked that.
Well,
They could have done both.
Maybe if it does well enough, they'll consider doing follow-up with Ico.
All right, time to remake Last Guardian. Oh,
I mean, Ico is
Just
on
in time for the PS6.
but yeah, Ico is on the HD collection for PS3 as well. So that is pretty much the best way to play that. But who knows? Maybe it'll get remade for PS4 as well. So we can only hope.
hold on, SCR. Did you say like for this segment like videos and stuff? Like what we're working on is also something we talk
Yes.
about. We should actually double down and work on that collab because we've been sitting on it.
Yes!
For what, 3 years?
Get it done!
Wait, when did insert game name here close? Was it 2 years ago or was it
can't
earlier
remember.
last year?
Did you guys even send each other the footage yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just haven't written
Get
anything
on it!
later. We
There's
gotta
Monster
actually
Hunter to
later.
play.
Do it
Yeah.
now!
Monster Hunter.
No more Monster Hunter till you finish it.
Do you want me to write a bad GameFly review?
Well, you've got lots of experience reading them, so I guess you know what to look for.
For Hobergod's bad. 10 out of 10.
Well, for me, video-wise, I'm working on a $5 gaming episode. I am going to switch my Monster Hunter Monday streams over to Monster Hunter World with a new character, but there's something I'm working on, which is I'm building a new PC that could actually handle that. So that's probably going to be delayed by a bit. I may have to just take a week off from Monster Hunter.
All right. Well, the streams, not
the streams,
playing
yeah.
World.
Question: When do you do your Monster Hunter Monday streams again?
Those are every Monday, usually at 8 p.m. Eastern on my Twitch channel.
Usually done by the time I get home then. Because if you were still playing 3 Ultimate, I would want to play more of that with you, but
it was try.
He was just doing base try.
Oh, okay.
Big Bill will live on in my heart forever.
Benope will also live on.
Who was
Man,
Benope
the myth,
again?
the legend. Just some random we came across with the most.
Oh, right.
best
His name was Benope.
The name that baffled us because saying it just made us cackle. But what a legend! We miss him.
Yeah, didn't we do some big quests with Benope?
Maybe. Just that's why he's the man, the myth, the legend, the Benope.
Well,
So you know what has to happen then? You have to remake Benope.
You can't remake Benope.
there is only one.
Maybe
There's
it'll be-
only one, and if we somehow, because of how big World is, if we somehow go into a random lobby and I see Benope, I will take a screenshot and say, "There he is, the legend."
Though, to be fair,
Absolute
somebody's probably
legend.
going to make Benope now.
Nah, I don't
With
see
us.
that.
I mean, I could have, but
All right, well,
that'd be a disservice to the legend.
okay, that's it for me. So let's go from Benope to Blondeguygamer.
So yeah, I actually am working on a new review. It's going to be a bit of a return to like my more shorter-ish style reviews. I would have gotten it done sooner, but then Monster Hunter happened. So it is being edited on, and hopefully maybe within before the podcast comes out or around the time the podcast comes out, somewhere around that time, maybe I'll have it up. And that's basically it in terms of like my most recent stuff. Although I am working on another in retrospect as well. I just need to like really hunker down after I get this video done, and then get that going, because it's going to be probably a bit of a long one, but it is going to be something on a game series that I wanted to basically do for a long time, or at least to talk about. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully everyone will be too.
I have 2 videos in the works that need to get finished. One of them, I'll just say I made a top 5 games of 2017 video. Every year I'm like, I'm gonna make a top games video, and every year I don't. This year I've actually scripted one. I've got all the footage. I've got all the voiceover. I just have to start putting it all together and editing. It's like I've already done some of the like layering for audio, so that's getting done. I just gotta sit down and finish the rest, but then Monster Hunter.
Have you been getting your own
yeah.
footage?
I've used some of my own. I also cheated a little bit and used some trailer stuff, so
There have been times where I actually kind of wanted to do a favorite games of year just list, but it's like a lot of games I played, I rented, and if I'd have to
Yeah.
get footage, I'd have to go back
I
again.
am
And
cheating a little
part of me
bit.
just kind of wants to like borrow footage and cite the sources to at least do that.
I am cheating a little bit because I guess I am using trailers for some of them, but like each game I only wrote a paragraph about, so I don't need a ton of gameplay footage. Though there is stuff that I did record that I do have that I'm going to use footage for. The other thing I'm working on is I'm working on revamping the way that I do my like figure toy collectible reviews. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that there's a new idea I want to do in place of where Engine Time and Amiibo Time were. The reason I stopped doing them is I just got burnt out. I was doing like one of those a week, and they weren't hard videos to edit. It's just finding the time to film it. That was the hardest part. So it just became a pain in the butt. I have a new video coming up, and it is Monster Hunter related, because I did get the collector's edition of the game. So I'm going to be going over stuff that came in the collector's edition for that. But I haven't fully decided on the name, and I don't know when that video is coming out. It's just, I have filmed stuff for it. I'm in the middle of writing a script for it, and we'll see what happens with that. I also have a plug and play that I'm working on, but I have to film some stuff for it that I'm not going to get to film until I go out of town. So that's one's not going to happen for a while, but it is in the works. If I'm lucky, I might get it out before SCR does the next part of Lexibook.
I put money on you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've already got ideas written down. I've written, I haven't written a script or anything or recorded much footage. It's just I've gotten notes down.
Oh, I might as well say that. So, next part of Lexibook. Not anytime soon. I need a break.
By the way, SCR, I have a proposition.
I may have an answer.
This year at Anime North, losers of Mario Party play Lexibook.
Oh, that's an intriguing proposition.
That could be the penalty box for Anime North.
But which one? There are 200 games to choose from.
We'll leave that up to the winner.
Oh.
Any other games within the next month or so you guys are looking forward to? Because I had 1/2, but one of them got delayed to April.
What one?
Yakuza 6 got delayed to April.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks, but still. Oof. That means the only other game I'm picking up is that Secret of Mana remake. Who knows if it'll actually be
I'm picking that up.
fine. I'm still picking it up, but I'm just cautious.
If it's as good as the Vita remake of the first game was, it's going to be fine.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but and before everyone throws a fit over the English voices, I'm just gonna say that.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah, and you can change the Japanese if people are gonna be that butthurt about it.
Like,
But what if the Japanese ones suck? Because
you know what? I'm pissed that there's no Monster Hunter language in Secret of Mana for PS4.
That's a good note to end the podcast on.
Well, we're not okay.
So you guys got no other games to look forward to?
Well,
other than what I listed with.
I mean,
Monster Hunter.
That's
sure.
Sure.
Yeah, and actually, just going back quickly to the Secret of Mana remake, I wouldn't mind trying it out too. I still need to finish the original though. I'm like halfway through that game, but
the only reason I have problem with it is like because I'm fresh off of beating that version on the SNES Classic. Seeing this is going to be like, I don't know. It's a tall order. I want to like it.
And people like Scott, you know, he obviously did the retrospective part on it not too long ago. So it'll be interesting to see how you feel about it, especially considering how much of a fan you are of the game. But I do feel like purists are gonna kind of pick it apart regardless. Not that I'm saying that you are gonna be like kind of one of those with that kind of attitude towards it, but
I just feel it won't be the definitive version.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something where it's like we'll have to see how it'll stack up with the original.
I am viewing this as it's a fun remake that is not being a replacement for the original, and I don't think anything will replace the original.
No,
it's just a fun remake that they're releasing because, you know, I don't know. Is there an anniversary for Secret of Mana coming up or something? Or
there was one recently.
Yeah, so it's just a fun little remake, and you know, if people don't like it, whatever.
And it is still nice that a game of that is, you know, even getting a remake to begin with.
Yeah, like that's still great, but it's also being stacked up against a much more notable remake coming out the same month. So
that's true.
Yeah, we got 2 remakes in the month, and it's pretty clear which one is probably the most well received.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're going up against Shadow of the Colossus, that's like one of the
you're going up against the Colossus, all right.
Exactly. It's like it's always in everyone's like top 10 games or whatever.
I think they're hoping like the name will probably do enough for it because Secret of Mana is pretty popular.
Not enough to port the Switch collection.
Well, that's just the second. That's just the second Densetsu series in general, at least over here.
Do you think Nintendo or whoever, or Nintendo or Square is going to pony up the money to translate the untranslated game? I don't think so. Like literally with Secret of Mana, they can just copy and paste the bad translation from ours, but
or they could really or like, of course, there's the whole fan translation of like.
I don't know why they don't just go to them and be like, "Hey, can we have a fan translation?" Okay, thanks.
That's a lot of legal stuff, mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, if they're not going to do that with Mother 3, they're not going to do it for that.
Well, on that somber note, anything else?
No,
just end this shit.
Okay, we're done. That's the end of the
God.
podcast. I'm SCXCR, I think.
I'm Wanroll. Yes.
I'm Blondeguygamer.
I'm Master of Zero.
And I am already firing up Monster Hunter again.
I gotta get ready for the tub stream, which you can find me over at Rub-a-Dub-Dub, 3 guys in the tub.
Oh, 6 shout out.
I gotta get ready to play Fortune Street and not Monster Hunter.
Oh boy, I can't wait to edit that.
Remember, use the stock market.